Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are reviewing Game Busters DVA. We're currently looking at Gold Diva here. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do drop a like, consider subscribing if you haven't already. If you'd like to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, see what sort of promos, special events we have going on, all of that good stuff. Okay.
It is not my preference to.
Ready for battle.
So, we're set up here. We're set up with our Devo. Other tank is Hog, which is a little bit awkward, but we're in a good starting spot here. Well, this is getting a little aggressive, but we have boosters. We can get out if we have to. I probably want to spend micro missiles here. Even if I only get like half value out of micro missiles, I want to do it. And the reason for that is there's almost no chance I'm going to dive on someone to try to get an limb to like try to assassinate them with the Diva here. So it makes way more sense to go, hey, I'll just spend these for some spam value to soften anyone up, because by the time someone gets to me, I'll have them back, or I'll just about have them back. And again, I'm not going to be diving into them. So I might as well get my poke value here. You want to be a little bit careful about this. Genji is someone you have to be careful with when you're playing Diva, Zarya, where you don't want to be like, aha, I'm defense matrixing to protect him, because really everything that you can defense matrix to protect him from, his deflect also works on, and it is actually better value for him to deflect something than to have you eat it. Now, obviously, it's possible that you'll eat a flash that was going to explode and hit him, that his deflect wouldn't have caught because of the deflect will catch the grenade itself, but it won't catch the explosion. But really, when we look at the total odds of things, unless you know exactly what you're doing, it's generally better not to deflect, to DM over his deflect here. Okay. Okay, so we want to lead those a little bit more. I'm good with this. I love the pressure you're applying from up here, making it tough on their Ana. You and Genji combined to get that elimination. Then we go here. They leave, which is great. You see these guys are leaving. Maybe they're going on their own offensive little angle there, but they don't really want to do that while their Ana's gone. So we'll be okay with that. They're probably partially hiding from you. And now you go here, and I like it, but I want to lead, because this Hog is almost certainly going to be going left to get behind cover. He's either going to turn to face you, in which case he'll stand still, basically, or he's going to start going this way. So I want to lead that. Even though, yes, he's going to get behind cover before I've spent all of my missiles on him, I recognize that, and I still want to be leading, because micro missiles are a projectile, and you're getting more damage from your missiles than from your left click at this distance. So let's aim to prioritize our missiles doing damage. Hi, Magdalena. How are you doing? You learn how to play Moira just from Game Buster videos? Thumbs up. I need to watch carefully so you can learn to play Diva too. There you go. Okay, so here you were, Game Buster, and you go like this. Oh, let's just click through that real quick. Good. Okay, cool. Let's rewind here 1 second. I want to see how you did this. You dropped for the Hog. Their Ana was currently gone. The rest of them were in the cave. Yeah, this is okay. I'm not really sure I wanted to booster at him, though, because while I'm okay with dropping to stay on him, potentially, and to make his life difficult, I don't really know that I wanted to booster. I probably just wanted to walk without left-clicking to maintain mech speed, because doing this puts us in a situation where now we don't have our boosters. And we're just kind of stuck here. And it's not the worst place in the world to be stuck. It's not as good as, say, being stuck up here. But we really could have just walked in behind him. And if he does any damage to us, hooks us, whatever, we had the ability to leave with boosters. And it would totally be different if he already didn't have breather, if he already was half health or lower, because you'd think, oh, I can go in and finish him. But he had lots of health. He still had breather. He was nowhere close to going down. So I didn't really want to commit into him with boosters there. Sure. Let's try this one more time. You boost her out. Pressure on her is good. We're obviously struggling a little with the tracking, and we sort of missed that. So pressure is good, but I heard the hook thrown, and I heard the hook connect, and I know exactly where Hog is. So maybe my DM won't reach, but I immediately want to pivot to try to DM to block this. Like, that's something that I want to do. You have full DM available. It's not on lockout cooldown, anything like that. You definitely are going to prioritize saving whoever got hooked here, because they're probably in range for you to save, even without boosters, over trying to do a little bit more damage to this Echo. That 100% happens, and when we think about a match, and I know we've talked about this with Divas before, when we go into a match, once we see what the enemy composition is, generally it's going to help as we're learning to decide on a few things that we're specifically going to be interested in eating. So in this team, that might be, hey, I'm interested in Ana abilities, maybe Sleep and Nade, and I'm interested in countering Hog Hook value. And then if you really wanted to go for bonus points, you'd go, I'd also like to eat stickies, something like that. And there you go. Now you have 3 things that you're specifically focused in looking for eating in this match. And that's not me saying this in review. That's something that once you know their composition, once you've sort of won or lost the first team fight, you should probably press tab, take a look at, and think about, what do I really need to be paying attention to eat this match? Because you will not get good at eating by just going, oh, I need to eat everything all the time. You really do need to, at least as you're building your blocks of getting good at defense matrix use, think in terms of there's specific things that I'm interested in eating this match. And here we did it all with regular abilities, though I guess Hog has Whole Hog too, so you'll of course DM that when that comes out, but you can mix in harder to eat ultimates too. Dragon Strikes, Blizzards, Grabs, those sorts of things. But I really wouldn't go much past 3 there. Okay. And the Hog Hook will be the highest priority in this one. Okay. Put some pressure on their backline. I like it. And you're ready to eat that. I like that. You're staring right at him. You're ready. You swapped to him as soon as he threw that hook out, and you see he didn't get value. Unfortunately, a nade's going to slip right by us, but that's life. They both happened at once. The nade was, or the hook was your higher priority. And now you go, hey, I'm using micro missiles. So I imagine what you're going to do is you're going to micro missile and sort of do a U-turn through Hog or a U-turn through Bap here. At least that's what I hope I'm going to see here. Okay. I don't really want to focus the tanks. There you go. Like, the tanks would be great if there was free damage there to get your mech back fast, but that's not really what's going on. I also probably don't go here. You're trying to tilt an aerial battle, and I get that. But I was probably just as happy with this fight over here. Once this whole Hog comes out, I'm definitely more interested in this fight over here. I can't eat Focusing Beam. Yeah. This Echo isn't weak. I don't want to be on this Echo. And if I did want to dive this Echo like you did, I was going to micro missiles from the get-go. Because I need as much damage as possible to break this Echo off of my Pharah.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
Okay. Again, no reason not to have started this micro missiles earlier.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
This Reinhardt really isn't moving. He's a big target. My aim is effectively the same right now on left click, hit scan versus projectile because he's not moving and I'm going in a straight line. I want to already be getting my micro missiles going, because now you activate them here and you're sort of stuck staying right in his face, as opposed to being able to have potentially gone, hey, I hit him, I got most of my micro missiles off on him on the way in, and maybe then I finish up here and waste the last little bit of my micro missiles. If you do that maneuver here, well, you'll end up wasting like half of your micro missiles, which is less than ideal. Her duplicate should be like over, yeah.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Time to be young to die.
Okay.
This is my will. Enemy turret down.
Sure. Great. DM it. Yeah, you should have been a little faster on the DM there. So, I like what you did here. That's just immediate. You just immediately start DMing your... Fair. Like, just immediate. What she's doing is way more important than anything else you could be doing. And I guess we talked about DM things on the opposing team, and there's also DM things on your team. I find those take less focus, but if you need to include them in your focus temporarily in the beginning, that's totally fine. Oh, we have a super chat coming in from Adam in Charge saying, we love Game Buster and hate Temporal. Temporal sucks. Thank you for that $2 super chat, Adam. I do very much appreciate that. So, again, there's sorts of things that you want to DM to protect. You would DM to protect a barrage going off. You would DM to protect your Genji pulling out his blade, though it's a little bit less of a priority. You wouldn't necessarily pull yourself wildly out of position to do so. You might DM Moira when she's coalescing at the beginning of it. You're going to think about DMing some of these things because you want to prevent some of the damage and, in some cases, CC that can come in at the beginning of it. So for Pharah, we're interested in damage and the CC that we can prevent. For Genjis, for Moiras, what we're really trying to do is eat the sleep dart that we'd expect to come in a lot of situations. But that's okay, or the nade. And that can be pretty automatic and is obviously easier than some of the eats of offensive, nades, hook reactions, that sort of thing. Okay. Probably hanging out top right again. You really had to get closer than I liked here, and if you were going to do this, I do want to spend micro, because I really don't think that you have any choice but to spend micro here. Like, you went here for forward poke. If we thought it was worth spending boosters to get forward poke damage off, let's actually use our actual poke ability, because left click is not a great poke ability at this range. You apply some shield pressure, and that's good. That's better than not applying shield pressure, but I'm going to apply micro missiles too. The cooldown really isn't that long. Better. You prioritize your targeting on the Echo over the Rhine Shield. Good. Okay. So there's an off-angle threat for you to answer. If Hog is handling this way and you know there was someone down here, you're interested in making sure this person doesn't get value. You answer off-angles. That's what you do as Diva. Okay, good. Micro missile the turret right now. The turret right now. The turret's going to do too much damage. It's the best player on their team. Okay, I'm joking. That's a bit of a meme. But, like, you see that turret building, you can start micro-missiling it before it does damage. It's not going to move, so you can hit it with your micro-missile and your left click at the same time and aim them at the same place and hit with both of them. We're totally good with that. We're perfectly happy to put our micro-missile on cooldown to do most of the work of destroying a turret, because our micro-missile is, well, unsurprisingly, a shorter cooldown than his turret, and it's also a less valuable cooldown than his turret. Perfectly happy to trade it for turret, though it won't fully get you the turret. Because now, that turret's just doing its work. DMing turret is not very valuable. Like, the problem is the turret's damage isn't bursty enough. It's just very, very consistent. It's very consistent moderate damage. So we look at that, moderate to low, but moderate damage. So we look at that, and we want to just burst that thing down, poke it down, We don't want to go, aha, I'm DMing it. It's not a good DM. Lamp over turret, sure. Turret MVP, right? Okay. Okay. Your mechanics have, definitely improved some over time here. I certainly remember when you would have struggled to connect this many Baby Diva shots on this Echo here. Yeah, obviously she hits harder than you do, but you connected some good shots there for a gold Baby Diva on an Echo.
Diva re-engaging.
Oh no, I'm gonna have people in chat telling me I'm too nice, whereas Mean Temporal, who calls out every single little thing because I just said someone had good mechanics for their level, or better mechanics than when they started.
Routing power to forward barrier.
Don't worry guys, I can be Mean Temporal still, I promise.
This.
So, speaking of Mean Temporal, your mech is low health. I totally get that your mech is low health. I'm hesitant, however, to use self-destruct here because I think you're going to struggle to get out. Your mech had full DM. Your mech did obviously have the boosters that would have potentially let you get out up over here. And I just really have doubts about your ability to remech even with this self-destruct going off because you're potentially going to have to run through molten goo. You're going to have to run right past a hog. I don't really know about this one. I'd probably have not done this one unless my mech actually broke. I'd be probably trying to booster out away to the high ground. That would be preferable. And then if I get caught, if my mech breaks, I'll just accept it and press Q to remech there. Press Q to make it a self-destruct and remech, even though it won't have momentum, because that's one of these things where I just don't think this is going to be a great thrown self-destruct.
Nerf
You need to submit a review for Mean Temporal. There you go, Bluff. Don't shoot him in the toe or the knee. That's not how, arrow to the knee, but not, like I see it. You got the arrow to the knee there, and like that's great and all, but the reality is you actually do more damage if you shoot up here, and his head hitbox as Roadhog is huge, and you would like to get, as much of that back as you can. Start charging up your next mech behind this one.
For my highlight reel.
Wow, that should not have been a remech. Hog should have decimated you. Okay. DM, where's the DM?
One for my highlight reel.
Good, and you're micro-missiling, which I like. And you should basically immediately DM here because you know he's going to do a ton of damage to you, and you even hear the ult going off. Like, where's the DM? Why is your crosshair aimed at the floor? Why is your crosshair aimed at the floor here? You don't need to see the floor. I know it's a messy floor, but you're not going to trip over any of it. You'll be okay. You can aim your crosshair up at more neck height, standard place to aim it, not, oh, let's check what's on the bar here. That's still aimed at Moira's ankles. That's now aimed at Winston's waist. Bring it up. Bring it up. That could have been like 3 more headshots you got there. 2.5. Why? Why is this down here? Why did this get back down here? You just brought it down to this level. It was a little bit higher. It was like here, and you brought it down. Here. This height. This height. At least this height. Okay.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Roadhog. I'm going home. Roadhog.
And then as soon as they're out of line of sight, I get that you duck, but like, look where your crosshair is. It's on his belly again. There's no reason it can't be up where his hand is right now. Aiming for the floor to hide Baby Diva head hitbox? No. And even if you're doing that, you actually do more of a like direct down look at the ground type thing, and that's like a widow dodging technique. That's not a standard technique. Okay. Micro. Yeah. You can't outstrafe the turret, sadly. Gold Diva, stop staring at Roadhogs. Whole hogging and aim up. Yeah, that could work. That could work.
다시 한판 해보자고.
Probably not going to be the title,
On
though.
my way.
I don't think that one's quite engaging enough. We do want to up that click-through rate after all.
APM 좀 올려볼까?
Okay, you ate some stickies. I like it. Like you could. I don't necessarily despise going after the BAP here, but I'm probably more interested in booping back the Winston. If Winston just leaped at something, I kind of want to hit him with my boosters as a general rule, because I want to knock him away from whatever he just jumped on. I don't want to knock him into whatever he just jumped on, but I want to knock him away from whatever he just jumped on, because Winston gets in trouble when he doesn't land where he wanted to, when he gets stuck in the open, because then he gets forced to drop his bubble, but he drops his bubble in a bad place where he can't be doing work and zapping anyone he wants to. He doesn't want to zap you unless he's also zapping other people, because your armor reduces too much of the damage. Whereas you do a lot of damage to him because he's got that giant head hitbox, which works very well with your left click's damage style. So like you have a good matchup against him. You saw what was happening here. And I see it, and maybe Genji is shouting, bap, bap, bap. Maybe that's what's happening. But, like, I just instantly want to react to this. I instantly want to react to this with boostering into him to boop him away a little bit, and then being right in his face, right in his body. Just burrow your weapons, your left click, into his body there, near his face if you can. Get tons of damage, as well as sending him, again, this way, whatever, so that he's off of whoever he tried to land on, and he's going to have to drop his bubble here. Or if he gets knocked down, on the ground over there, which is going to be out of range of whoever he was trying to zap. I just had the longest comp game. I do one quick round, Game Buster. Sorry about that, Game Buster. I could have delayed the start of this one if I'd known that you were in it. I waited like a minute but didn't see anything for you. Maybe I should have. Sorry that didn't work out. But the VOD will be there, and we are continuing our review. We are still in the first round here, so we've got some good time left. Okay. Was it like a 8 to 9 Volsky or something? What was it? Okay. Echo pressure is fine. But again, this echo... Like, I'm already pressing Micro Missile because I want her eliminated. Like, it's absolutely worth it to eliminate her faster with Micro Missile, because the faster I eliminate her, even if it's like, oh, I don't need Micro Missile to finish her off, Anna's still live on their team. She could get healing. I want to take this opportunity while it's here. Let's get our Micro off. Micro. Okay.
60 seconds remaining.
I don't know about this. I think you need to contest card. Okay. Okay, so you can either get on Winston because you've got a good matchup with him, or you can get on Anna because Anna's going to have to go away in order for you guys to actually break this fight. So those two make sense. I don't want you on Reinhardt here. I don't really need you on Winston's bubble. I don't need you to break Winston's bubble. Okay. Probably wanted to go with at least one shift there just as a final hurrah to be like, to boop them back type thing, but okay. That's his waist. You're still shooting his waist. He's a giant target, large head hitbox. You can hit it. Remember those echo shots you hit earlier? Okay, you might not have been here earlier, but you'll remember them when you look back. You hit like 5 out of 8 shots on the echo. You can definitely hit headshots on the right. Oh my goodness, 8 to 9. Volsky Industries would be a nightmare. Nimbani or something, 5v3. Okay. 0 versus 0. Volsky Industries are terrible and the pain doesn't stop. Okay. Your longest comp game lasted 35 plus minutes. It was Blizzard World, and of course I got the one as your last quick game before going to work. Oh yeah. No. Get on the Winston. Get on the Winston over here. yes, he has a 1.5 second cooldown versus your booster cooldown, which is longer, but we're still going to mess up one of his leaps. We're going to do good damage to him. We're going to try to keep him off our target long enough that maybe they get heals. Turns out it's Hog and he doesn't really need help. But like, you have a good matchup against Winston. You actually look for opportunities to take that. There's times when it's more important to do something else, but generally messing up Winston's leap in plus doing good damage to Winston is a pretty good use for your diva. There's things that are more important, like blocking out a visor, blocking out a Reaper when you have DM still available, finishing off a Zen that's half health that you could dive with your micro missiles. There's absolutely things that can be more important, but like, it's a good thing to be looking at, and you're not doing anything more important right now. Yay, you took off angled high ground. Okay, this is good. This stops more people from coming in, but I was pretty good with just eliminating the feeding Winston. You won? Oh, nice. Very cool. Same problem playing too much Ana, go for body shots. Yeah, that can be an Ana problem. That could be a player problem for players who got most of their aim work done on Ana.
No.
Cool. Micro. This is a commit from your Doomfist. He'll probably get out, but put micro pressure into this. Good. He's feeding. This Winston is absolutely feeding. So you just booster right at him, and knock it back into this room so that you can fight him out of his team's line of sight, and you just finish him off. Because he can't go anywhere. He just wasted his shift. Like, you win. Okay, you might have to leave now. Are you going to U-turn this? No. Okay. I can live with that one. Great. So that's a much better self-destruct than some of the ones that you were doing before. It's obviously still not perfect because we're in this situation where, hey, you're doing this because you're low health, you don't have micro missiles, you have full DM, so, okay, DM's actually more valuable than some of these things, but you have a very low health mech and you don't have micro missiles, and you're like, hey, this is an opportunity, I would like a fresh mech, we're deep enough into this fight, it's been going on for a good 8 seconds or so, some cooldowns are going to be out, this can get eliminations, and I want a fresh mech anyways, because if I don't, I'm probably going to lose my mech. Cool, works for me. And for those of you who are saying, what are you talking about? He was in no danger of losing his mech. He's broke line of sight. He's perfectly fine. In a higher level game, he might not have been in danger of losing his mech because supports would have capped him back up when he broke line of sight for, a good 3-4 seconds there. In this level of game, no, his supports were not going to pop him up quickly there. He was still in danger of losing his mech.
Double kill.
Or he was going to have to stay out of the fight forever. Maybe he's going for a cheeky ult where he pushes it off the edge. That could have been fun. But I think the ult we got was a good one. Oh, right. If I screw up my shift, I do that like 50% of the time because I changed my settings to hold to fly. Ah. Sometimes you try and fly and cancel early. Yep, that can happen. Gotta watch for those. So this should be on your eat list. Anytime an Ana's in your face, you're watching her right hand there. Like, you see this? You're watching her right hand. She moved her right hand. We're DMing. Like, you don't need to be focused on her neck trying to aim. You don't need to be focused on the BAP trying to aim. Like, if there's an Ana right in front of you, you need to be focused on her right hand, which is left from your perspective, to go, is it moving? That's what your eyeballs are locked on. You gotta leave. Yeah, you had to leave immediately here. So, like, as soon as you got slept here, this immediately needed to be a booster out. The DM is good, but you also immediately had to booster out. Your brain is too slow for that stuff for now, but it's called priming, right? We've talked about this before, where it's too slow to just reactively eat the sleep. I agree. If you're considering, I need to eat sleeps in the middle of 100 other things, you'll never see them. But if you limit what's loaded up into your RAM to, wait, there's an Ana in front of me, the match started and I decided Ana was one of the 3 things that I was interested in hitting eats for. This was a Roadhog earlier. And anytime there's an Ana in my face, rather than think about the world, the universe of everything I know about Overwatch, I'm thinking about, hey, I'm specifically ready for a few things to happen, but one of the very few things I'm specifically paying attention for, specifically ready to happen, is Ana to move her hand, which will tell me she's sleeping or nading. And if that's something that you do, your reaction times will be faster. Will you get it every single time? No, you will not. But if you really go, I've primed for this specific thing to happen, I'm thinking about this, it will increase your reaction times to that event. It's predictive, but it's not like actually going, I'm going to DM before she does it. It's, hey, I've limited what I have to think about, and that will increase your reaction speed.
Seconds remaining.
Heroes 다시 한판 해보자고.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Doomfist.
Okay.
No enemy turret ahead.
Usually I try to predict it, but your suggestion might work better. I'll try it. Definitely do try it. Because if you try too hard to predict it, it runs into its own problems, or if they don't throw it, you sort of get stuck, because DM then has a lockout.
Time to raise my APM. Fully on.
Diva Hog is a rough time for Diva, it's true. That was kind of weird DM on your part.
Operational.
I don't mind shooting at
Get
her.
through this.
Probably willing to spend micro. You could save it because you'll have boosters in a moment. I'm just not convinced you'll be willing to dive anything. There you go, you do micro. You're just a little late.
Oh my god, 30 seconds.
Okay, you get healed up. I'd have eaten that Fire Strike, but that's okay. I know there are differing opinions out there on Fire Strike. I've covered this in some depth. Yeah, that's okay. Okay. Torb probably doesn't make sense as a target with Bap right here. You probably need to swap right now. Yeah, you're just not going to finish him. Oh. Okay. Genji decided it was going to happen.
10 seconds remaining.
UDM is just too slow. All good.
The payload is over.
Time to be young to die.
So let's watch this one. We'll slow it down to half speed. You start applying damage. Hard to see, there's a lot of particle effects on your screen, but she just shot you with a regular shot. And I can feel you're already reaching for DM. No, those are micro. Okay.
APM 좀 올려볼까?
How did she get past you? And she gets past you, so you DM. Okay. That's okay. You can DM. This just makes it easy for Genji to finish her off. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, no. Oh, no. She survived long enough. Okay. I'd have probably just spent the extra tick of DM to wait for her to actually get eliminated because she hadn't really spent her abilities yet, but that's okay.
Get home.
And that's a similar technique, what you just did there to protect your Genji. You can do very similar things with Winston when his bubble isn't in an effective place, that sort of thing. You're going to do that with dive partners sometimes, because if you just create a 1 second window, a half-second window for them to do work, they can just win. It works even better if you're communicating, of course, or if you've worked together before, but that's what D.Va does. Like, her damage isn't amazing when she's DMing. Obviously, she can still be getting micro in there, but if she can if a Genji can play without having to worry about being slept or naded, ooh, loves it. Tracer, same thing. Winston, absolutely loves it. Classic pass from Rocks. Oh, the whole match Hog was being super salty, screaming your DPS for bad. Got it. Okay, we made the stop. So far, we definitely see some things we can work on. I do still see more opportunities to use Micro Missile. Your aim, your crosshair, you just bring low when you're as Baby D.Va for some reason. It's less of an issue when you're in mech form. It probably stems from when you're in mech, you so often... Ooh, we got an interesting pause sound effect there. It probably stems from you as Big D.Va playing high ground a lot, which is great, but you aim down when you're playing high ground. But you're not playing high ground as baby diva so often, so like you gotta aim up to hit those head boxes a little. So that's something that we're aware of. I'd like you to peel the Winston harder. I'd like him to be sort of higher in your priority list of things to do, because again, he does very little damage to you. You do good damage to him. You mess up his jump. You potentially force him, which means he's not threatening someone on your team. It also means he's caught in the open and has to either take a bunch of damage and get eliminated, or use his bubble, and using his bubble is a big expense on his part. If he uses his bubble in a place that he can't then go zap people. So those are all things that are on our list. We saw the self-destruct that was nice. It was definitely better than some of the self-destructs we've seen in the past. I like that you got combo value at the beginning of third there, where you both got a fresh mech when you were looking for it, and you got some good mid-fight eliminations there. That's what we want out of those, so good improvement. And then we've got DM to talk about as well, but that's okay.
5, 4.
Remember, if you guys are enjoying that content, do drop a like, consider subscribing if you haven't already, and here we are into the attack round for our Gold Diva.
Time to raise my EPM. Time to
So
raise
this
my
doesn't want to
EPM.
be your automatic reaction. It's just not worth it to DM the turret, really. It doesn't actually do that much damage to you. You have armor, just immediately micro-missile it to get rid of it. It won't fully get rid of it, but there you go.
Enemy turret's not gonna bother us anymore.
Okay. Anna's used nade. You're going to keep an eye on that, because if she can also use sleep, you're going to consider diving her. I'm going to consider diving her anyways. And the reason I'm going to consider diving her
Enemy
anyways,
turret's not gonna bother us
don't have
anymore.
micro missile, which is definitely a problem, but you do still have a Genji teammate, and no one on her team who you can now see, you just saw her team struggles to go vertical. Soldier's on low ground, and that's a big boon for you. Torb is on low ground. Mercy might be able to get up and help her, and you're still 3 seconds away from micro missile, but she just used her nade. So if you go, I have boosters, I have a full health mech, there's a Genji on my team that's hanging around over here somewhere, and the people who could peel for her best, which, yes, Mercy, but like Soldier, Torb, aren't really going to be able to do damage if you boost her in there. This is a mistake. This is an opening. You should go in to try to punish this. Worst thing that happens, you fail to eat the sleep dart and you get slept, and you see Diva go flinging with her control sticks and be unhappy that her mech is unresponsive. Right up here, where again, Soldier and Torb are going to struggle to hit you. Maybe Zarya gets a right click on you or something. But no Diva is going to come back up to peel here. No Doomfist is going to come back up to peel here. No Soldier is sitting here to just melt you from up here if you get slept. That sort of thing. Baby Diva only challenge next time. Ah. So again, this is unfortunate because you just sort of went, hey, I'm going to do this. And you don't need to be thinking that hard during this dive. You just need to be watching her hand. You literally just need to be watching her hand. Yes, you should micro-missile on her, and you try to aim, but you don't need to hit headshots with your micro-missile. That's not really a thing. You look at this and go, hey, you could be pointing your crosshair at her right hand for all I care, because that's what you care about, her right hand. And this happens, and unfortunately, she did a very good move that was surprising, where she ducked back here to get you to turn off DM because you didn't want to waste DM when you didn't have line of sight on her, and then she immediately popped her sleep dart and popped out to catch you during your lockout animation. Are we sure this is gold? That was well played. Okay. That said, you didn't want to DM on the way in, because if you look at this, as soon as you DM, you're locked into continuing to DM in some ways, and this only really works if you have a damage partner with you that's taking her down, or she's at low enough health that your micro missiles are going to finish her off, which she isn't right now. So now you're locked into spending all of this DM, hoping to put enough pressure on her to get her to panic use her abilities. So this wasn't really right, and your defense matrix isn't really protecting you right now. Yeah, you're taking a lot of damage because the mercy boosted soldier is shooting at you, and that sucks, and we didn't expect to take quite this much damage as we went across, but you can't really DM out the mercy boosted soldier, so this doesn't really help you. Oh boy, nerd. Okay. Question, how does damage boost in the call mech work? Boost on summon, then switch to heal, or boost on contact, heal first, then boost? Call mech damage. follows the principles. Follows the principles. My guess would be that you'd want to hit the damage boost, and I should look this up specifically. But my expectation is that you're going to want to hit the damage boost right as she calls out, right as it does damage effectively. Those are basically the same moment. That's fine. I mean, those are close enough to the same moment. Technically, it's a projectile, but technically, is it a projectile becomes the question, or is it hit scan? Interesting question. I don't know. It really becomes a question of, is it damage boostable, or is it going to be like things like tire where it's not? I don't know. We'll have to look that up. It's, again, a relatively new thing to the game. Not like new, like, 3 weeks ago, but new as in, oh, that's something that we haven't really looked into. We should find out. Okay. So again, we DM'd too early here. Something useful to know if you were to micro it. Agreed. Well, the useful thing to know is going to be less the timing, though the timing is a tiny, tiny bit of matter. The thing that really matters is, and we can get this, someone already knows this won't be hard to look up, does the damage boost actually work on it? That'll be the real question. Or is it going to be like self-destruct or tire where no, it doesn't? The question is it its own independent thing or not? Okay, so here we are. Okay, you have to reload here, sure. You're trying. You're not really leading her appropriately. Okay, you did try to lead there, and then there's a little lead. Sure, that's fine. That was a better baby DVA fight for you than some of your fights against the tanks. It's also a meme, so why would you? I mean, damage boosting it does get you more damage against tanks. It'll flatten anything else, but it will survive. The tanks will survive it, so the damage boost matters.
Repairing the damage.
Fire! Routing towards forward barrier.
Cool. Are you going right? Or are you playing Reinhardt Babysitter? What did you DM for? I don't really want you here. I wanted you to walk across. You can apply left-click damage to the Reinhardt. Put pressure on him. Be ready to DM your Reinhardt if he swings as you walk across here. But then once I got over here, I probably wanted to go up again and challenge this. You're not, your Reinhardt, yes, his shield is low, but he'd still put his shield up. I don't want to do this. He's not swinging. Sure would have been nice if you'd done what I said and gotten over here, because then you guys could 2v1 this Ana, and this Ana would just, like, rage at the fact that it's impossible for them to sleep your Doomfist while there's a DM over her.
Enemy turret ahead.
Sleeping Doomfist, that Ana, like, literally nothing she could have done if you'd worked your way up on the angle there, and there wasn't a good reason for you to play behind your Reinhardt in general. You know that we like playing above or on the off angle, and if that's not an option, if the soldier's bothering us too much, we play to the side on the off angle, like this, and then we've still got an off angle to go in here at, and we've got more protection from them as we go across like this.
Defense matrix activated.
That's a good question, Adam. Sounds like a personal problem. There we go, James Taylor. There we go.
This is not the end.
Every YouTuber's sponsor list, right? Like, okay, have you been sponsored by Manscaped yet?
Get into position.
Comes up. Enemy turret ahead.
Payload has reached
Okay.
Need healing.
That was a lot of damage that you were willing to take here.
Enemy
This is happening. Torp turret goes down. You could just leave. You could spend boosters and leave. That'll cost you nothing of value because you'll get your boosters back in plenty of time. Oh, your Doomfist goes in, so you decide maybe to push this a little, and now you're down to 400 health? I don't really like it, but okay. Maybe you're helping him get out. Can we please leave with boosters now? Please, 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 please. No! You're...
Need healing.
Did it make sense to spend another 300 health to get across here? And you might not have known it was going to cost exactly 300 health, but you see the issue here where it's like, that doesn't seem like a great trade. And you might be thinking, oh no, I can wait out of line of sight. The opponents won't be able to finish me off. But your supports are going to have to mostly be in a situation where either they're in the enemy's line of sight or other people are in the enemy's line of sight when they try to heal you back up from this. So you are actually stealing your support's future time by doing this, and not low value out of combat time like right now where they're not doing anything better, but time where they could be applying that uptime to something else, to offensive shots, to healing your Genji who's in, to healing your Reinhardt who could take damage on his health instead of his shield, that sort of thing. You see what I'm saying? This probably wasn't worth jumping across for because you were already too low on health, and now you've put yourself in a critical situation. Yeah, we probably wanted to do this jump across like this once your team was more in this territory and the opponents were just a little bit more distracted. Like, they create a little bit of a distraction, which allows you to go over here, which makes you a little, like, them coming out here makes them more threatening, which causes you to be a little less threatening, which lets you go over here, which causes you to be a little more threatening, which makes it easier for them to push up here, which makes it a little easier for you to push up here. You guys can kind of leapfrog it like that, but you sort of skipped a step.
On my way.
Do people not want to play with you right now, Gamebuster? Gamebuster said, Adam, stop distracting Temporal. I need to get better so people want to play with me again. People should want to play with you. That's terrible if people don't want to play with you. People like playing with you. Who doesn't want to play with you? There we go. That's what I expected.
Fully operational. On my way. Thank you.
Okay, so we had to back off. A little unsurprising. Okay. Good, 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 good. That was great.
I still love you.
Molten Core was not on the list of things I gave you to eat this time, but hey, you ate it. Works for me.
Heal up.
But Adam doesn't have to invite you. We gave you your own scrim mod powers. You can make your own groups. You should be able to ping Silver Scarfs. If you can't ping Silver Scarfs, let me know. But you have your own scrim mod powers for that channel, and you can start your own group. For people who don't know what I'm talking about, we do internal scrims, internal grouping. Sometimes they'll go on ladder, sometimes they'll play against each other, open to all skill levels, but obviously just based on ladder distribution. You'll see more of a range from like silver to diamond, silver to low masters in terms of the groups that get formed doing that sort of thing. And it's a lot of fun. You should join in if that's something you're interested in, playing with other people who sort of want to play in a semi-organized way, in a somewhat reoccurring way. It's great. Check it out. Join the Discord. Does Temporal have a dog? Not currently, no.
No hacks for you. Bunny hop.
Okay, so you go up here. Pressure on the Zarya, we like it, but you decide you can't dive her because of the soldier, which I totally agree with. Why is your DM here? Oh, because you didn't see the soldier. Got it. This is just you not finding him fast enough. So find him before you DM. Like, I see it, but he's not right there. He's on the ground. He's on the ground! Okay, just keep your DM on him, and now you booster at him, because now he's starting to get into range issues. Sure. Let's play. I don't really care that you went down to the chatter there, because you know, if a nano soldier was free, he was going to take your team down anyway. And instead, they used nano visor, grab, and shatter, and they didn't really win the fight. Interesting. Ult economy isn't everything, though it matters. Okay. Sure, you can keep it. You can keep Mercy out. I wouldn't chase her. I wouldn't chase her like this. Yeah. Keeping her out was fine. That was just a deep chase. Micro, micro, micro. Leave, leave, leave.
Nerf this.
No? Wow.
Nerf this.
I get that you're trying to keep them out now. I understand now what your play from the get-go was I'm going to keep them out, but that's a ton of cart distance to trying to keep the team out during. Cart distance, locking doorways is a dive tank. It's a pretty common thing, but it's like, hey, I'm going to get an extra second like this. You're